Checking on your grades in the class is really important, but more important is viewing feedback that I'm going to give you on pretty much everything you submit throughout the semester. And there's two places that you can check this feedback. The first place is by clicking on the Grades tab button. Okay, this will take you to the Gradebook, and whenever an assignment has been scored, you will see the score here, obviously. But there's also these icons here telling you that there's more information for you to view. Okay, so on things like discussion boards and common books, I will almost always give you a comment as well as score a rubric to let you know how your work is measuring up and why you got the score you did. Okay, so by clicking on the comment, this will give you more information. And usually I gear this information so that you know how to do well the next time, or I try to celebrate what you're really doing well already. And then it's also important to click on the rubric because this is what determines your points. Okay, and so there's a description of each grading criteria, okay, which you can view by clicking on that link. And then you can look at the points you received out of this total, and you can determine kind of where you fall. Okay. So exceptional, adequate, inadequate, etc. Okay. For essays, the way Canvas is set up, it's a little trickier to find my feedback. So I want to show you two ways to find it. The first way is to come in and click on this link here, which will take you to Canvas's space for giving comments, which I don't use. I use Turnitin. So once you get here, what you'll need to do is click on the link just back. And once you do this, it will take you to the page that looks like the page you submitted the paper in the first place. Okay. Only at this point, you should see a color-coded icon here, as well as this little pen. Okay. If you click on the pen, this will call up Turnitin, your paper, as well as comments that I've given you. Okay. So let me spend just a moment here. Throughout your paper, if you scroll down, you will see little bubbles. If you hover over them, you'll see comments that I've given you. Oftentimes, I'm highlighting text inside with little comment bubbles, so you'll want to scroll through. Notice where I've placed it. Usually it's commenting on the sentences around it, or it's commenting on the sentence I've highlighted. Okay. Over on this side, typically, if this first button is pressed, there will be a short paragraph here where I'm giving you some general comments. Okay, if you click the next button, this will list all of the comments I've given you here. Okay, and then if you click on this final button, this is the rubric. So again, this is what's determined the number score you received. Okay, so if you're uncertain about why you get this score, you can scroll down and just read, what is describing your paper, and what is it you need to focus on in revision to improve the score. Okay. There's also this button here, the originality report, and this will give you more details on this number. Okay. This is what measures, or this is a utility Turnitin uses to measure the similar passages it finds in your essay. Okay. So if you're curious about, are you quoting things correctly, citing things correctly, this is a neat tool to use to get that information. Okay. One final way to access feedback from me on your papers, however, instead of going through the gradebook, is simply to access links on our weekly content pages. Okay. So what I'll try to do is, whenever I've graded an essay, I will try to embed links to those comments in the current week you're working on. All right, so I'll try to make it clear and apparent. So whatever week you're in, if you encounter a link that says "View my comments" on a paper, if you simply click on this link, it will take you to this page that I showed you before, where you have an opportunity to click on these buttons and view the feedback we just covered. Okay.